like how it's just Virgil here, like, did he kill the others, or, like, do they just not want to play with him, or what's going on here? Poor Virgil. It's fine. Oh my god. Oh, they're so cute. What is that little doll next to Dante? That's so cute. Maybe it's Nico's? They are just vibing. Yeah. He looks happy though. I'm glad they're like chilling. It's what they deserve. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like the way Dante keeps just kind of looking at him and then ignoring him again. So anyway, I guess let's get started. Um, so I have notes on my phone. I had like a whole big PowerPoint that I made for this. I see. Um, but Twitch Studio does not want to acknowledge that PowerPoint exists. So we're just gonna look at the gallery and stuff. Um, and I'm gonna read off my notes on my phone. Um, and I apologize if I sound a little bit like lost, because I have so much to talk about, and I'm a little bit nervous to be honest. Um, yeah, the void is let's see. I think the void is where you can practice moves and stuff. Yeah. But so okay. I guess let's start with hello. I'm gonna start with my kind of first impressions of DMC as a series, and also its gameplay. Um, so I really like the gameplay in DMC. I really enjoy like action adventure games like Zelda, Castlevania, Medieval is a big favorite of mine. I don't know if anyone here has played that or like knows what it is, but that's a really fun game. Um, Stuff like that. So I really like how DMC, it's got that. It's like fighting. It's it's an action adventure game. Um, and I really like the style mechanic. I think it's a pretty interesting concept. Um, definitely definitely vibes with me. You know, the concept of the cooler you look in battle, the better score you get. Oh, hi Trish. Um, I feel like the difficulty in DMC honestly is pretty forgiving. Like I was nervous because I had heard that, combos are such an important thing in DMC, and I've never been good at combos in video games, but I actually got the hang of it. They're not that hard in DMC really. And it also is the first game to teach me to actually dodge instead of just punching my way through everything. So, like, big kudos to Capcom for that, because no other game has pulled that off. Um, and, like, it's just, I don't get why people act like it's such a hard game. I mean, the harder difficulties, yeah, but on like normal or easy mode, you know, like if you die, it's not. I mean, well, some of the games, if you die, you do have to restart the whole level, and that's kind of a pain in the ass. But you know, no, you're not. Fuck blocking. Fuck blocking. Blocking is for scrubs. Yeah, it's definitely I'm horrible at combos in general, but DMC I did fine, which I was so nervous, but I did fine. Um, but yeah, it's like, you know, you've got the orbs that revive you. You've got in a lot of the games, if you die, you don't have to start the whole level over. You kind of respawn back where you started, or not where you started, but like at the area where you died. Um, and it's not like you're losing items or anything either. So it's really, I think, probably the reason people think that DMC is like, oh my god, such a hard game. It's so unforgiving. It's like the Dark Souls of action games that aren't Dark Souls. I think that I genuinely think they just don't know what boss patterns are. Cause, like, yeah, you might get your ass kicked a couple of times, but if you pay attention and you see like, oh, okay, when this guy says this line, or when he starts doing this motion, that's my cue to get out of the way, or that's my cue to go in and attack him. You know, if you pay attention, you'll do okay. And so I think that probably a lot of the reason why people think it's so hard is that they try to just kind of brute force their way through it instead of thinking. Let me look at my notes here. So the style switcher, yeah, that is true. I think DMC lets you remap, controls. Yeah, it does. So that is something, or at least DMC 5 does. I don't know about other games. But yeah, I definitely get that. I have found that it's not as tiring for me as other, like, fighting action games. Like, I was playing Bayonetta earlier today, and my hand cramped up so bad after, like, the first 2 levels. But again, that's me. I don't know how it would do for you. But it's worth trying. Oh, really? Yeah, 2 is, 2 is a game, but we'll get to that. So the other things I liked about the mechanics in DMC, I like the style switcher and the weapon switching are pretty cool. That's kind of something I like from other games that I've played, at least the weapon switching. Games like Medieval or the Full Metal Alchemist games or Castlevania, where you can just kind of grab different weapons for different situations. But I did find that in general, I tend to just kind of stick with, like, whatever Dante's main weapons are. In DMC 1, I switched them more often because, the enemies had a lot more clear, like, elemental weaknesses. Like, you know, okay, these are ice dudes, I'm gonna get Ifrit, that kind of thing. And also, the only, like, sword that had a personal connection to Dante was the shittiest sword in the game, so I didn't want to use it much. But the other games, I'm like, no, I have to use Rebellion. I have to. But that's something I should play around with a bit more. I have been doing an all Nivon run of DMC 3, which is pretty cool. And the style switching, I found I used it a lot more. Yeah, that is true. I found out that I used the style switcher a lot more in 4 and 5 when you can just do it, like, whenever you want. In 3, you had to go to the statue to switch style, And so I was just kind of like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do, I think I mostly used, Trickster. Um, Possibly Swordmaster. Definitely in general, Trickster and Swordmaster are the ones I like the best, but, I'll do a little Gunslinger every now and then. I don't really use Royal Guard much, because, like I said, I am not a blocking kind of person. Yeah, Cavalier is fun. It's kind of tough, though. Yeah, that's true. Like, I know I like mobility. I really like going fast. I like being able to, jump all over the place. That's something that I know, even just, like, from Super Smash Brothers, I always played, Pikachu and Sonic. So that's, I saw Trickster and I was immediately like, okay, this is the one for me. But I definitely think for someone who's not used to action games, it's probably worth trying out all the different styles. And, it's worth doing that in general, even though I don't, like I said, I don't really use Royal Guard, but, yeah, it's fun to just, try out new things. Let's see. In general, I really like the goth vibes of DMC, especially, DMC 1. With, like, its whole Castlevania, spooky castle kind of thing. That was really fun. Dante also looked kind of like a vampire hunter in that one, which I really like that outfit for Dante, to be honest. And let me look at my notes. Yeah, so DMC, I feel like all the characters, honestly, are pretty likable, except for, like, the villains, but they're the villains, Like, I like Dante, I like, Lady, Trish, Nero, even Virgil. I can't... Like, he's a bitch, but he's fun, Like, I don't... There are some games where there'll be that one character that I'm like, oh, I fucking hate that guy, why do I have to play as him? I can't stand that guy, but I haven't really had that with DMC. And another thing that I really like about DMC is that I feel like the quality has consistently gone up with each game. Like, they kind of take the mechanics that work and they just keep those and build on them from there. There isn't really a point where I've been like, oh, the previous game was better for this and that. With the exception of DMC 2, which, it's a game that exists, and I don't know why I played the whole thing, but, other than DMC 2, I definitely think that each game has kind of improved upon the last one. Another thing I really like is that, it starts out with this kind of, serious gothic feel with a little bit of humor, especially, like, in the way that, oh, I haven't seen this before. Oh, this is an ugly Dante. I feel mean saying that, but he doesn't look good. Yeah, so, oh, Nero doesn't look great either. I feel mean saying this, but they're not looking great. Okay, oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Okay, I gotta stay on topic here. What was I saying? Yeah, so, it starts out, kind of silly, goth, a little bit cheesy, and I think with each game, except for, again, DMC 2, they've kind of pushed the humor a little bit further. They've kind of refined the writing, and I really like that it has this kind of, like, unapologetic... Like, DMC is very sincere in everything, I feel like, whether it's being, like, dramatic or it's being silly. It's very JoJo-esque in that it doesn't, like... does not half-ass anything. DMC is like, they know what they want to do, and they're gonna do it, and fuck cringe culture. It's gonna have drama, it's gonna have cheese, it's gonna have whatever the fuck the theater scene with Dante and Agnes was, and that's just how it is, and I really like that. And I do enjoy the cheese, even in DMC 1. Let's see. What have I got here? Okay. So, now I'm gonna talk more about their writing in general. So, DMC kind of has this running theme of like, yeah, they really commit. I love that. I love that it's like, it's funny, it's dramatic, and it's like, DMC doesn't take itself too seriously, but it doesn't really fall into that, like, I feel like there are some series where they're like, oh, we're so self-aware that we're gonna make fun of classic tropes and, you know, talk down to our audience because we're so funny and self-aware and relatable, haha. And it always feels kind of insulting when series are like that, but DMC doesn't do that. It's like, yeah, we know this is silly and cheesy and over the top, and we fucking love it, and you're gonna love it too. You know, I really like that. I really respect that. And I think that if they were not so sincere in everything, that it would not be as good a game. So anyway, moving on to the writing in general. There's this overall theme of light and dark, with light representing the humans and dark representing demons. And you can kind of, they reference that in things like, you know, I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light! And, you know, a lot of the music, you know, when, like, in Devil Trigger, embrace the darkness that's within me, bury the light, obviously. Yeah. But the interesting thing is that they don't really push one as being better or worse than the other. Like, Dante, you know, he's a good person and a hero not because he's part human, but because he chooses to be a good person. Sparta, who is, you know, the legendary Dark Knight, he is always presented as a heroic figure. You know, he's the one who woke up to justice and, you know, saved the human race and all that. He's a legendary figure, he's a hero, and he's a demon. And, like, Trish and Lucia, or Lucia, however you want to pronounce it, you know, after Trish, like, joins up with Dante, even though they're both demons, like, their trustworthiness is never questioned. God. So that's something that I think is interesting. And also with Sparta, he was a hero, like, long before the series even began. They don't do that thing where it's like, you know, oh, love is what makes people good or whatever. Like, Sparta was a hero long before he fell in love with a human. Like, he was already retired when he married Eva. She has nothing to do with him being a good person. That's all on him. So that's really cool. Like, they don't... Other series would probably do that kind of Beauty and the Beast thing, where it's like, you know, oh, he was a mean demon and then he fell in love. But DMC, it's like, yeah, no, he was a demon social justice warrior, and then he retired, and then he married a hot witch. And also, on the subject of, like, humans versus demons, with the exception of Mundus and, depending on how you want to look at it, Virgil and Urizen, pretty much none of the villains are actually demons. They're all humans who want demonic power out of greed. So it's always, like, the humans that are the worst ones. God. So, let's see here. Yeah, so I really like that they kind of show that demons can be really good people, and humans can be absolute assholes. Like, Lady put it best, in the end credits of, DMC 3, she says something like, there's kind and compassionate devils in this world, and humans that are as evil as any devil, or something like that. But basically, they present this contrast between humans and demons, but they don't present one as being inherently superior to the other. And in fact, you usually see the like, most success from characters who are willing to embrace both sides of them. Which is, you know, that's where Virgil went wrong, was splitting himself into his human half and his demon half. And it was Dante who was like, hey, no, that's not how this works. You suck, you know? Let's see. So I like that it's a really character-driven story, with a fairly minimal cast, and I feel like it does a good job keeping things interesting, even though there's only, you know, there's like Dante, Virgil, Nero, Lady, Trish. That's pretty much the main cast, and it's mostly just Dante, Virgil, and Nero that it focuses on, but it still does a good job keeping things fresh and interesting, and, like, tying the games together, but not in such a way that, like, it's not one long single storyline. Like, they're self-contained adventures, but they all tie together. Sorry, just getting some water. I do wish that they'd focus a little bit more on the women, particularly Trish and Lady. Although Lady did she definitely had her own plot in DMC 3, but it was, you know, she doesn't really do much after that as far as plot goes. She's just kind of like, she just hangs out now. You know, she's living her best life, but she's not hugely involved in the plot. So, thinking about the individual games, DMC 1, I really loved how it had that whole goth thing. It was a little bit more serious than the other games, but there was still definitely some humor in it. Like, especially Dante, in that game, you can investigate pretty much anything in the environment and he'll comment on it, which I thought was really fun. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Lady and Nero game, or Lady and Trish. But I like that Dante, in DMC 1 would comment on the environment, and he usually had something sarcastic to say. Like, there's this one room that's like it's a library, and he'll pretty much give you a summary of like every book, and then you get to one shelf, and he's like, wait, why am I reading this? And I think also at the start of the game, when Mundus is still like the big statue, Dante like says that it's ugly or something like that. So I really liked that little bit of environmental humor. And And also there was a lot of environmental storytelling in the way they hinted at Nello Angelo's true identity. Like, all throughout the game in that one, there's this kind of theme of things that come in pairs, and usually red and blue. You know, the first fight with Nello Angelo, we see him come out of a mirror, and he's taking the form of Dante's reflection. And then he comes out of the mirror, and his fighting style is kind of similar to Dante's. He does all the taunting and stuff. So, you know, there's a lot of hinting that yeah, red Oni, blue Oni, exactly. There's a lot of hinting at kind of Virgil's presence in that game, and like who Nello Angelo is. And that, I think, makes the reveal more impactful when he dies. And let's see. I also think that the Sparta reveal at the end was really satisfying. Especially because, you know, at that point you've spent the whole game with all these demons looking at Dante and being like, oh my god, it's the legendary Dark Knight Sparta! And he's like, no, but close enough. And then he kind of takes on the form of Sparta, and what was the shittiest sword in the game is now incredibly badass. So that was really satisfying. DMC 2. You know, DMC 2 sucked. It did. But I do think that the fact that Dante... I mean, I'm not gonna completely excuse the way Dante was written. It kind of sucked ass. But it makes sense that he was a lot more serious and depressed when you consider that he had just, you know, accidentally murdered his own twin. That being said, the thing with the coin was just bizarre. I don't really get it. I don't know what they were trying to accomplish with that exactly. Lucia and Mathieu definitely deserve to be in a better game, I think. I liked both of them, and I'm kind of sad that they don't show up in future games. Like, I know they're in the DMC 5 prequel manga, or not manga, the prequel novel, but I'd love to see Lucia come back as, like, a playable character, or even just make a cameo. And the concept of, like, an evil capitalist was honestly kind of interesting, even if they didn't do a ton with it. But it's also worth mentioning that apparently in canon, Dante remembers, like, next to nothing about DMC 2 except for the giant gorilla boss. So that's interesting. Excuse me. So DMC 3. DMC 3 was stunning. The drama there was just incredible. It was so good. Like, the build-up with Dante and Virgil, and, you know, finally getting to see this character who's, you know, he's been alluded to. You know, we see him in the first game, but it's not, like, really Virgil, you know? Because Nello Angelo's all brainwashed and shit, and you think he's dead. And so it's really cool, you know, seeing the backstory of him and Dante. And I think they did a really good job building up the drama between the two of them. And also Lady and her dad. So it made the ending really, really impactful. Like, I was just stunned when I got to the end. Even though I knew it was coming, I felt, like, emotionally drained by, you know, watching Virgil die and all that. It was just, oh my god. I also like how they really tied it in with DMC 1 well, I think. You know, obviously you've got the secret ending where we see Virgil try to fight Mundus, and you know, okay, that's how Nello Angelo happened. But also, like, you know, Force Edge, in DMC 1, it was like the shittiest sword in the game, and now all of a sudden it's really plot relevant. The amulets are also really plot relevant, so it takes this stuff that was like in DMC 1 but not fully explored, and it really brings it back. So I thought that was really cool. And I definitely, like, you can see that there was a little bit more humor in that one, but it also felt a lot more dramatic in terms of story and character. Well, not... DMC 1 was pretty intense, but DMC 3 really pushed it. So DMC 4. DMC 4 is where you can see that they really, like, let loose with the comedy and the zaniness and just doing whatever the hell they wanted. Like, Dante in DMC 4, he's just vibing, you know? Like, there's all this shit going on and all these demons around, and he's just kind of fucking around. And Trish, too, to a lesser extent. So, you know, I really like that. You can tell that DMC 4 is where they really start defining what direction this game's gonna go in and what they want to do with it, and, like, going full force with the humor. The plot... You know, I was unsure about Nero at first, like, before I started the game, when I knew that he was Virgil's son, and, you know, we got this new protagonist, I was, like, really not sure how I was gonna feel about it, but I ended up really liking him. I think they made some good choices with him because he's different but not too different, you know? Like, he's clearly his own character, but he's, you know, he's got Virgil's anger and Dante's, you know, sarcasm, and his playstyle also, even though it's very unique. And I do really enjoy his playstyle, especially, like, the Devilbringer. That was really fun, but even though it's very distinctly his own, it's still got some stuff that's familiar to people who are used to playing Dante. Like, you know, Shriek is pretty much exactly like Stinger. So it's good in that he's a fresh character, but it doesn't completely alienate fans of the original. And the kind of, like, they almost have kind of like a non-chronological storytelling thing going on, in that, you know, we start with Nero's story, and then we go back and see what's going on with Dante. And the decision to sort of introduce Dante as, like, not necessarily an antagonist, but, I mean, he broke into a church and murdered the Pope, and then left, okay? Like, and Nero had no idea who he was. People who have not played a DMC game before would also have no idea who he was. So I'm really curious about what kind of impression that would leave on people who have never played DMC before. And then, you know, we kind of go back and we see Dante's side of things, why he did that, you know, what he's up to. And the concept of a cult that worships Sparta is interesting as well. It kind of, like, it puts a new perspective on, you know, we've heard in the lore before that, you know, oh, Sparta, he was this legendary figure, and he reigned over the humans as a feudal lord for a while, apparently. But like, that never was really made relevant to the world, you know? Just kind of like, okay, that's part of, you know, Dante's backstory or whatever. Now suddenly it has a real world effect. And, you know, I think they did a good job making the Order of the Sword genuinely seem like, you know, cult-like, in that most of the people in it were just kind of like normal people who, you know, they just were part of this, what they thought was a normal religion, and they did not realize that, you know, it was basically a scheme to sacrifice them all to, you know, gain demonic power or whatever. God. Yeah, honestly, though. Like, it is interesting because it kind of, like, Virgil is very relevant to the plot, but he's not actually there, you know? Like, Nero is his son, his sword is a huge part of the plot, but he's not actually there, and so it kind of brings to the forefront of things the question of, where the fuck is Virgil? Why the hell did he have sex with someone who wasn't William Blake, apparently? Is he dead? What's going on here, you know? And it doesn't really answer that question. But, yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's just like, where's Virgil, you know? And then the other characters, fucking what's his name, the Pope, was just, that was, wow. The whole, like, Robo-Pope, yeah, Sanctus. Robo-Pope the Robot Pope was just a whole, I don't even know what to say there. And Kyrie, I like Kyrie, I really do, but I gotta be honest, she got the sexy lamp treatment. Like, she had very few lines, she gets kidnapped, and oh, so sexy lamp is, it's a term for, when a female character, when her role in the plot would not really change if she were to be replaced with a sexy lamp. So, you know, sure, maybe a lamp couldn't sing opera, but a lamp can get kidnapped and used to power Robo-Pope the Robot Pope, and that's about all Kyrie does, other than, like, smile encouragingly at Nero every now and then. And I feel really bad for her, because I do genuinely like her, and I think she deserved better. I know that... God! Who the fuck wrote that Why did they have her say that? They could have had her say literally anything else, but they chose to have her say, like, what possesses someone to, you know, give someone their sword, and instead of saying, hey, here's your sword, hey, Nero, I brought you the sword, she fucking goes, she yearns for your touch. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? Why? I just... I don't even... It sure is a line. It's a line I'm never gonna forget. And I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I wish Kyrie, you know, I know her thing is that, like, she's a normal human who doesn't fight, and she, like, you know, she's very kind and kind of, I don't want to say passive, but, like, she's more of a support kind of role. But I do think that she should have gotten a more active role instead of just smiling at Nero. But yeah, so then DMC 5. Oh my god. DMC 5 was... I don't even have words for how good that was. Everything was so polished. Like, they just... Oh shit, there is a button to switch characters. Huh. Anyway, they did a really good job, like, kind of bringing everything together for what feels like sort of the climax of the series, even though I know it's going to continue, but it's like, this is the big moment when all the pieces come together. And they did such a good job with it. You know, it had a lot of humor to it, yeah, but it also honestly felt more serious than DMC 4, which is interesting because DMC 4's plot was pretty fucked up, but DMC 5 feels like it has more weight to it, you know? Like, it's kind of an all or nothing deal. Like, we open with basically Dante almost dying. It's some intense shit. And I like that it finally addresses questions that have been kind of around from the beginning. You know, what happened to Virgil? We get to see the twins' backstory, you know, actually shown instead of just kind of hinted at. Like, we saw a little bit of it in the DMC3 prequel manga, and I'm trying to remember, did they talk about it in DMC3? I think they did, but like, it hadn't actually been shown directly before, so DMC5 finally did that. And V is a really interesting character. He's a really interesting way of finally giving Virgil some character development. Let's see. You know, I didn't think I was gonna like V very much, to be honest, but I ended up really liking him. So, Nico is also, you know, a really good character. She kind of comes out of nowhere, but it's okay because I love her. And she's really fun and cool, and I really hope we see more of her in future games. So one thing I really like is kind of the final moment where, you know, we're basically on this Shakespearean drama, and, you know, like, the twins are both trying to kill each other, they're going all out, and if you've played DMC before, you're kind of, like, used to that, you know, okay, this is how it goes, they're gonna try to kill each other, that's just how DMC is, you know, it's this whole big drama. And then Nero, you know, the one who was raised in a cult, he's the one to finally break in and kind of throw all that to the side and now say, you know, no, that's not just how it is. That's not okay, that's messed up. You don't have to solve your problems through killing each other. And he does it in this very, like, human way, you know. We start out with all this dramatic dialogue, you know, oh, if you want it, then you'll have to take it, blah blah. And then Nero just comes in with his fuck you and, you know, giving them the finger and punching Dante in the face. And he just totally smashes through the whole mood and kind of pulls them out and says, you know, no, this is not okay. And I really love that. That, I think, was really well done and really satisfying. I am curious about who at Capcom is really into William Blake, apparently. Because, you know, not only is he referenced in V's, like, book and stuff, but, Urizen is apparently named after a William Blake poem, and also, you know, that famous shot where Dante and Virgil are you know, attacking each other and Nero stops them. That is almost identical in its, like, composition and posing to, a sketch that, William Blake did, or I can't remember if it was a sketch or a painting or what, but he's got an illustration for, Paradise Lost, that looks pretty much exactly like that shot. So I want to know, like, why did Capcom suddenly decide, like, you know what we're gonna have as the running theme for DMC 5? William Blake. Like, oh, okay. Alright. So let's talk a little bit about characters. Or specifically characters that, to me, are interesting in their writing, because, you know, there's a lot of characters in DMC, but not all of them I necessarily have a lot to say about, but, yeah, so Dante, obviously he's my favorite. He's so cool. He's so I love him so much. Hot boy. I love his design, I love his devil trigger, I love his personality. He's interesting because he's very clearly depressed. You know, in the anime we see that he spends most of his time when he's not on these big demon hunting adventures, like sleeping on the couch, going out to the diner and just eating a shitload of ice cream. You know, he's definitely depressed, and he also has strong ADHD vibes to me, especially in, like, in DMC 1, how he comments on everything. Like, he has something to say about every single thing that he sees. And I feel that. I really do. And he's just, I love him so much, honestly. And I think he's really cool in that, you know, he's this tough guy, but he's also, you know, he's very silly, he's very kind of sappy. And one thing I find interesting, that I've especially noticed in DMC 5, is that Dante tends to throw in a lot of random Spanish words when he's talking. So I think that he might genuinely, I think the twins might be either Spanish or possibly Mexican. So that's really cool to me. You know, I would love if they could confirm that. That would mean a lot to me, but, you know, I'm not expecting much, but I just think that's really cool. So Virgil. Oh, Virgil. Virgil is a bastard, man. I love him. He's a piece of shit. I want to give him a juice box and then shove him in a locker. I hate him, but I love him, you know? Like, he has done some horrible stuff, but at the same time, he's been through a lot of horrible stuff, you know? Like, that doesn't negate any of the things he did, obviously, but, you know, I do feel bad for him, especially the Nello Angelo thing. Like, that is really messed up, and excuse me. I think V is an interesting way at sort of looking at, you know, what's going on with Virgil beneath that, you know, power, I'm so much better than you kind of, like, persona. Especially in the manga Visions of V, which is like a prequel to DMC 5 that focuses on V. We see that Virgil has, like, genuine trauma from the whole Nello Angelo thing. You see it a lot in Visions of V, especially one scene that stands out to me is, I think it's when he... Is it when he meets Cavalier Angelo, or is it just one of the regular Angelos? I don't remember, but either way, like, for a minute there, he sees Nello Angelo, and he just freezes up, and there's this look on his face that has, like, he's genuinely, like, terrified, and it's a look that I've never seen on V or Virgil before, and that's really interesting, because we haven't seen this vulnerable side of Virgil before. But that being said, you know, it's really interesting that V straight up says all Virgil wanted was to feel protected and loved. And I think it's clear, especially in DMC 3, that he does still love and care about Dante, you know, even after everything. So I'm really hoping that the character development that he's starting to get will continue in, you know, whatever they're going to do next for DMC. The other character that stands out to me the most is Sparta. Sparta. The whole concept of Sparta. Like, can we just fucking talk about the entire concept of Sparta? It's like, yeah, hi, this is Sparta. He was the second in command to the King of Hell, but then he woke up to justice and betrayed the King of Hell and killed him and took out the entire demon army by himself and sealed the portal, and then he ruled over the humans as a feudal lord for 2,000 years, but it's okay because he was really nice, and he's super hot, and both demons and humans want him, but he's married to this hot witch lady, and they live in a manor outside Redgrave City, and he has a cool katana that opens portals, and he has a cool sword with the skull on it, and he has a meat sword that's named after himself, and he has a giant dragon made of lava that's named Puff, and his human Sona looks like a Chad Manfred von Karma. Oh yeah, and nobody knows what happened to him. You know, he maybe he died or something. Who knows? It's not important. He's not around. Hi! But yeah, Sparta, has a dragon named Puff, made of lava. Yeah, I wish they'd bring back Puff, honestly. But yeah, it's like the whole concept of Sparta is just really wild. Especially in that he just fucking disappears, and like, they have so much backstory for Sparta, but absolutely no explanation as to where the hell he went. It's like, okay. Alright, what else have I got in here? Okay. So let's talk about disability representation in DMC. So, I've already touched on how, you know, Dante is obviously depressed. Virgil obviously has PTSD. But in terms of physical disability, V is really, really cool. Because he's this, like, he feels like a really realistic depiction of chronic illness, even though, you know, obviously he doesn't have, like, an actual, you know, specific real-world illness. It's just, you know, oh yeah, he's, like, dying because Virgil was dying or whatever. But the way he, you know, one minute he can be doing all these crazy tricks, fighting, and then the next he's exhausted and he can't, you know, run. Stuff like that. And the fact that, you know, he's got a cane, and it's not like some, you know, magic sword cane or whatever. It's just genuinely a mobility aid, and even, as you just saw in the gallery, Like, it legitimately just says that. You know, he uses it to get around. That's how it is. And, another interesting thing is that his familiars, Griffin, Shadow, and, Nightmare, they're all, like, they're described as, I think, like, physical manifestations of his trauma from his time as Nello Angelo. So that's kind of an interesting thing, like, you know, his trauma, he's taking that and kind of making it his own and turning it into a strength in a very literal way. So that's really, really interesting. And then we've got Nero, who, you know, he loses his arm, and, like, he gets all these cool prosthetics, and both Nero and V, like, their disabilities are kind of inherent parts of their gameplay. God, I don't remember how to play V. Part where I stab it? I don't know. Anyway, so, like, you can't remove that from them. It's part of their gameplay, and it's genuinely part of what makes it fun. Like, Nero's, his Devil Breakers, his prosthetics, those are really cool. And, like, really fun. And it is, you know, like, he does, at the end, his arm grows back, which is not great, but it is worth mentioning that it's not like, you know, oh, he totally wanted his arm back and stuff. He was perfectly fine the way he was. He didn't, like, he was just chill with it, and then, you know, his arm grows back, and even he's like, hey, what the fuck? Why did my arm grow back? That's so bizarre. And, like, he can still use the Devil Breakers, which is, also interesting. Yeah. Yeah, like, he gets his arm back, but it's not like, it's not a whole, you know, oh, finally my disability's been cured. It's, oh, what the fuck, my arm grew back. That's really weird, you know? So I really, really like that, you know, both of these characters, they're very clearly disabled and in such a way that it is a huge part of their gameplay, and it's part of what makes them badass, and I feel like that's something that you don't see a lot, especially with V. You don't really see this kind of fatigue and, you know, a character who uses a cane and it's not, like, just for drama or whatever, you know, like, it has a purpose in the same way that it would, you know, in real life. You never see characters like that, really. So I'm really happy to see both of them. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. So, let's see. Last thing I wanted to talk about, or well, second to last, is the music. Obviously, you can't really talk about DMC without talking about the music. So, DMC in general has really good music. Ultraviolet, I think, is genuinely one of the best tracks in the series. Like, I know, you know, everyone's into, like, you know, Devil Trigger and Bury the Light, and obviously those are both good, but Ultraviolet, you know, I gotta love it. Mermaid Rock, yeah, Mermaid Rock's really good. But one thing I like in DMC 3, how, God, I'm forgetting the name of the track all of a sudden. Devils Never Cry. They use, sort of the intro to that for, a lot of like important stuff. And I think that's really cool, and I wish they would have done that with other songs in the games more frequently. I wish that they would have kind of tied things together more. You know, for the series overall, I feel like a lot of other series, like, you know, Zelda, Castlevania, stuff like that, you're gonna have certain themes that repeat throughout the full, like, the whole series, you know, Zelda's Lullaby, or, like, I don't know, stuff, you know, but DMC doesn't really have that as much, and so I kind of wish they'd do that, but, I do like that a lot of the songs, the lyrics, like, very clearly reference the story. Especially in DMC 5. Everything, you can pretty much take any of the character theme songs, and it's like, okay, I know what this is about, you know? And they also kind of tend to reference each other, which is cool. And then, of course, where is it? Here we go. Yeah, so Bury the Light actually, references Devils Never Cry in the bridge. It's got like the same tune as like the last half of Devils Never Cry, but kind of slowed down, and the singing and the demonic chanting are separate instead of being together, but it's the same melody, which is really cool. And then, of course, yeah, these song, Crimson Cloud, which I really love, honestly. I think it's super underrated. But, like, it straight up describes his whole character. Like, the fact that V is, you know, the human half of Virgil is not something that gets revealed until later in the game. But Crimson Cloud, just like, you know, it's right in there, like, split myself in two, you know, devils in the dark, brothers in the dark, fight for your life, yada yada yada. It's like, hello? They just put it all out there, like, yeah, this is V's whole ass story. We're just gonna go ahead and dump that in this song that you hear in, like, Mission 4, or, you know, something like that. It's really funny, but it is a genuinely good track. So the last thing that I've got in my notes is what I would like to see in future Devil May Cry games, or even like the anime. I do really like that DMC 5 brought characters from the anime, even if they weren't like significant hugely, like Morrison being there and the brief Patty cameo is really good. It's also funny to me that they did give Morrison the you know, the like the Nick Fury treatment, which it's cool. He looks good, but it's definitely interesting when you've seen the anime. But so anyway, so future Devil May Cry content, definitely I want to see the twins kind of finally like outright address all the shit that they've been through, and especially with each other. And I want to see Virgil get character development and acknowledge the harm that he's done. But yeah, therapy. Get these motherfuckers to therapy. But I also would like to see Virgil finally get to be a playable protagonist in his own right, instead of instead of him being, you know, an alternate character you can play after you beat the game. I want a story where you play as Virgil and he's a good guy and it's Virgil. And I want the girls to get bigger roles in the story. You know, they've always been involved in the story, but I want to see them... I'd like to see them playable as part of the story, really. I'm surprised that they didn't have you play as Trish at all in DMC 4, to be honest. But I would really like to see, you know, I think DMC 5 did a really cool thing the way they had you switch between player characters, and I'd like to see Trish and Lady get added onto that. And the other big thing that I really want to see in future DMC games, bring back the stripper pole. Please! That was the best goddamn thing that has ever been done in DMC, and I miss it so much. Every single game, every single time, I always try to find the fucking... anytime I see anything remotely pole-shaped, I run up to it and I try to spin around it, and I can't, and I get so sad. I have not, but... Oh, that's good, that's good. But yeah, I just... Please, bring back the ability for Dante to swing around on the pole. I cannot... Not... Like, they gave it to me, and now I've been spoiled, and I refuse to live without it. Please, Capcom, please, bring back the stripper pole. Yeah. That's... I guess that's about all I have to say, really. So is there anything that you guys wanted to talk about, or anything that you want to hear my thoughts on that maybe I didn't touch on yet? God, yeah, you're right, Bryn. I'm still losing it over how twice now I have recognized Trish in disguise based purely on vibes. Like, I did it with Gloria, I did it with... Oh, you're right, my bad. But yeah. I did it twice. Just because, like, I looked at them and I was like, oh, that one's hot. There's lightning. Gotta be Trish. It's gotta be Trish. I'm... I guess I got the... Yeah, I did.
Go. Go.
I got the, like... hot biker girl sense, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, if there's anything else that you guys want to talk about, you know, feel free. Yeah, I want to see Sparta come back too. Hey.
Running out of time.
Excuse me. I'm sneezing. What do you mean by, like, shown to the audience?
Slice it.
God, he's so dramatic. God, yeah, yeah. I want to see them. I want to see them pull like a Hohenheim with Sparta. Mathieu, where's my house? Yeah. So the fan, I think that I don't really know a ton about the development of DMC as a whole. But I do think that there has been some listening to fans. They did that one time that we don't acknowledge, decide to say a big fuck you to the fans and just shit all over the game. And that was a very bad decision. And if I can be serious for a minute, I'm never going to play the remake, even if people tell me that, oh, it's actually a good game, because yada yada, or it's not that bad. Like, the studio made a homophobic comment about Dante, and I'm not gonna, I don't think that it's worth my time, or, anything, to play a game that is by people that would do something like that. I just, no. Yeah, fandom is interesting. I feel like the DMC fandom is, there's a lot of, like, incest strippers, but other than that, I think it's a pretty cool fandom for the most part. But let's track this. One thing that is interesting about the history of DMC is, that it does have some crossover with Bayonetta, because, they're both by, oh god, I'm suddenly forgetting his name. I was Hideki Kamiya, I think? Yeah, but they're both by the same creator, and they're owned by different companies, so they can't officially cross over. But there is reference to, there's a lot of references to DMC and Bayonetta, honestly. Like, I played Bayonetta for the first time, earlier this afternoon, and fucking, like, what's his name? I'm suddenly forgetting his name. Enzo. Enzo from the DMC3 prequel manga is just, like, there? Like, he's a major character, apparently? And it's like, what? I was not expecting that. And there's also, like, you find journals by someone named, Antonio Redgrave, which, Tony Redgrave was an old, alias of Dante's. And this Antonio guy is clearly a different character. He's like a journalist. I don't know, I haven't gotten very far in the game, because, like I said, I only started it, today, but it is interesting to me that there's all this crossover between DMC and Bayonetta, and I'd love to see if, if Sega and Capcom could come together and make a full, like, DMC Bayonetta crossover game actually happen like that. I'd really love to see them go all out with that.
At your pleasure.
Oh yeah, I remember that note. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I did kind of wonder, like, who that dude is. I think he's, doesn't he show up at the beginning of the, prequel novel, I think? I don't remember his name, though, if he... Oh, hey, it's Blizzard guys from DMC1. I love those dudes.
Scorch them. I have to take it over.
How long is Bloody Palace anyway? You have to fight Urizen? Oh my god. Oh my god, that's a lot. I'm on floor 8. Oh god. Virgil versus V. Now that's gotta be interesting. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I don't want to do 101 floors in one sitting. I mean, yeah, that is true. That is true. Oh, do they have, like, dialogue for it?
Like you so. Go. Get ready.
Oh, the animation. Interesting. I'll probably get there eventually, but not tonight, for sure. This is more fun than Bloody Palace was in DMC World, though.
Go.
Or maybe it's just that I enjoy the... who knows. You know what I feel like I'd like to see developed a bit more in DMC? I want to know what's the deal with the Guardian of Time or whatever she's called. The time deity that the statues are all of. What's up with that? Ooh, that was pretty nice. Yeah. Yeah, I want to know more about the statue lady.
Here. Like you so. Scorch them.
Uh-oh. What?
Enjoy the taste of
Come on, Trash Hulk. So, yeah, so I'm just gonna, like, chill and play Bloody Palace for a bit, just for the hell of it, but, I pretty much talked about all that I had in my notes. If I think of anything that I want to bring up, I definitely will, but, you know, you guys can stay, or you can go, or, you know, whatever you want to do, and if anyone has, like, anything they want to talk about DMC, really, I'm gonna be here for a bit, and I would love to hear. And I hope that you all like this stream, and I'm sorry that I was so, like, kind of nervous and didn't really have my thoughts all in order, but I tried, and I hope I did okay. Thank you all for coming. can, you know, hang out if you want to hang out, or if you want to go, that's cool too. Hi, Bunny, I love you, your baby.
So hungry for death. Returning to the underworld.
Oh shit, Angelo.
So hungry for death. Slice him, pin him to the wall. Great so.
Why does he keep doing the same taunt every time? Do something different. Oh.
So hungry.
Oh, Shadow died. Rip. Let's grab Crashel.
Them all. Slice him.
What? That was a bad spot to taunt. Oh. Oh yeah, air taunt. I forgot about that.
Come on.
Whoa. Oh wait, that was Shadow. Duh. At least I think that was Shadow. V is a good character for taunts because he can still attack with his familiars while he's just standing there. Anybody else you taunt and you're very likely to get murdered.
So, at your pleasure, gouge him. Enjoy the taste of despair. Cry. You burn. Resist all you want. What a pitiful sight.
Oh, one thing that I would really like to know about DMC is where the fuck does it take place? Like, I know you've got, you know, Redgrave City and Fortuna and places like that, but like, where in the world are those, you know? It's so ambiguous.
Scorch them.
Blowing my nose during combat, not a good idea. But I lived somehow. Oh, this is those fuckers that throw the eyeballs and they got the JoJo mask. I hate those guys. Yeah, that's true. Ooh. Although, if it is the same universe as Bayonetta, if I saw correctly in Bayonetta, it's regular Earth. Yeah, things definitely have a very European look to them. Ow, ow. Especially DMC 2 looks like, you know, Italy or Spain, I think, a lot. Oh yeah, that's true, yeah. But yeah, I'd love to know more about, like, the map and stuff in DMC. I do maintain, though, that the Sparta twins have got to be Hispanic.
Go.
Oh, this is that teleporting fucker. I hate those guys.
Right. No escape.
He really is a fun character. I didn't think that I was going to like his playstyle at all, but I genuinely enjoy him. I'm really curious about what we're going to see in the next chapter of Visions of V. Because, are we, I'm trying to remember, is it like at the point where him and Nero fight in the Angelos, I think? Or, no, it was, next up should be when V sees the house, right? Or not the house, the, like the playground. So that, I'm really, oh, did it? Did it? I don't remember that happening, but, okay. Either way, I'm looking forward to the next chapter. Oh shit, boss fight. Yeah, I don't think he's been to the house or the playground yet. I think they might have already fought the Angelos, or I think that's what's going on right now. But I'm pretty sure next up is the house. Or the playground or whatever.
At your pleasure. Dodge. Made up. My flesh fails. Slice.
Whoops. Oh yeah. Right. I'm really curious as to how they're going to do the scene with Dante, to be honest. Yeah, because that whole scene was pretty intense, even in DMC 5, and, oh shit, both my fingers died. Visions of V has been really ramping up, you know, Virgil's thought process and, you know, kind of V's history and all that. Oh, did he die again? God damn. So, yeah, I'm really curious. Oh, Jesus, they keep dying. What the fuck? Yeah, I want to know, how that's gonna go. Because that's a- Ah! I can't run for very long. Oh god. Okay, okay. My familiars are back. I think they're both back. Not really sure. Gotta read poetry fast! Ah, shit. Whoa! Uh-oh. Crash hole kill! God, this is tough! I did not expect this fight to be this difficult! Uh-oh, I'm gonna sneeze again. Why do I always sneeze at the most inconvenient times? Thank you. Uh-oh. Oh, I died. Well. You could. Oh, I got a D. Yay! D for Dante. That means I'm winning. Maybe let's try Bloody Palace with Dante. Just for the hell of it. Bloody Palace is my favorite JoJo opening. Oh, why does it not let me use the Cavalier? That's... What? Is it because I have the red one? Can I use the purple one? Or is this... are they just... Okay, so I can use the purple one. Thank God. I was gonna be so sad if they didn't let me have my motorcycle. Uh-oh, now I'm used to playing V. I don't remember how to Dante. Yeah, D for Demon. Oh, that was all of them, I guess. D for just smoking, just actually just styling. I wish they had Patty as a style announcer. I think she'd be fun. Ow! Don't put lava on me. I love Dante. He is just vibing. I keep just thinking about how good Dante is. He's so good. He's the perfect boy. Let's see, which stage is it where it gives you the boss? Cash money hat. Yeehaw. I like that the scarf isn't part of the hat. He's just decided that his hat absolutely had to have a matching scarf, and so he just, you know, used prestidigitation like he does. Decided not need to throw that. just so fun seeing the hat on all the different enemies. Ooh, I lost a lot of orbs on that one. Oh, got him back, I guess. By the way, if my model is wobbly today, I apologize because, two of the wheels fell off on my desk here, and it's currently propped up on, a bunch of manga that I don't like. So that's where I'm at right now. So my chair is very wobbly. So I might be a bit wobbly. I've got 2 volumes of Rurouni Kenshin and 1 volume of Hetalia because I have collected a lot of manga over the years and am not into all of the same ones anymore, but I just haven't gotten rid of them. And I guess they're useful for situations like this. Oh wow, these dudes even get tired just like Michelangelo did. Interesting. Kinda low-key just using this to farm orbs. I want to eventually get the EX taunt for Dante. And definitely for Virgil. I gotta have that. Actually, I think I want Kalina for this one. Yeah. I keep forgetting that I have a health bar, so now I'm like, oh shit, I got a DT. I hate these guys. These have got to be my least favorite enemy in, like, the whole series. They're just so gross, you know? Uh-oh. Oh my god, my health is so low that the music is, like, gone. Oh my god, that was close. I need a Grorb. That's what I need. But I'm not gonna get that. Ah, man. Oh shit. Okay, no Kalina Ann this time. I cannot afford to waste the mobility. Oh man. Oh man, I'm barely hanging on here. I'm gonna get to Goliath and he's just gonna murder me immediately. Yeah, that's true, yeah. But I need regular DT really, because I gotta regenerate my health. Oh, it's slowly going up. That's interesting. That's true, yeah. Why did I recover a little bit of health? Was that the hat doing that? No, it can't have been. Could it? Is that the thing that it does? Oh shit. is happening? That was wild. Whoa! What? Oh fuck. God damn it. Goliath, huh? He was not that hard a boss the first time. God damn. Well, it's okay, because I got D for Dante. I got D for Dante, so I'm still winning. Um, so I think that's gonna be it for tonight. Thank you everybody for coming. Sorry about the awkwardness, but I hope you enjoyed.